Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy, and this is the number 21 short format chew review. This is Chew Review Part 2, Mail Pouch. So, taking a look at the packaging right off the bat, you will see not for individual resale. It is actually part of the packaging. It looks like a sticker on there, but it is actually part of the bag. That is because these, like all Swisher chewing tobacco products, come in a box. All right, we've looked at these. If you want to look at the full deal with the box, I will link the original review of Mail Pouch at the end of this video. They come in, there's one like that and one like that. I have already gifted one of these to someone that really needed it, so we're just taking a look at this packaging. So the packaging feels substantial. Like, it feels like there's a lot in it. And it is a normal sized bag, okay? But in reality, the weight is low. There's only 2¼ net weight ounces in here. It's not a 3-ounce bag. 2¼ net weight ounces. The reason why it feels full is because of the way the product is, which we will get to in a minute. So it's pretty much straightforward, both sides. It's got the flap down here, all right? It's got a fold back and a double fold over. There is no Ziploc on this bag. Swisher does not do Ziplocs. None of their products have Ziplocs, all right? So it's basically the same on both sides. It is important, or somewhat important, so you don't get surprised, to take note of the picture of the old packaging, because on the old packaging it will say ribbon cut loose leaf chewing tobacco. All right, on the bottom of this there will not be a barcode because the box had the barcode. You have large branding. Fact that it's made by Swisher International Incorporated of Wheeling, West Virginia. www.swisher.com. And then underneath that, you have the foreign domestic. And again, this is a little bit odd because the foreign is 40% and the domestic is 60%. Not terrible, not bad at all for a chewing tobacco, but the oddity is that this is a Swisher product and it's not 47.5 domestic and 52.5. They usually run something 0.5%. This is even. 60% domestic, 40% foreign. All right? So, opening up the packaging, there are more glue dots on these. I am a fan of Ziplocs. All right? I just think they're a good idea when it comes to something like this. That said, it's clean, and as long as it hasn't lost its fold, which it won't because it's in a box sealed, these are usually, the products inside these are usually in good shape. The problem with not having a Ziploc is if you're not one to use a whole bag quickly and you're not careful about the foldovers and keeping it tight, they can quickly become not in good shape. So I'm going to pop it open here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think the bag was slightly off center when it was being processed, so there's only 11. There's usually 12. So inside the bag, and I'll try to get a little light here, that's what you're looking at. There is a lot of blonde highlights, and that is part of the reason why the bag feels so full. This is not processed with much molasses, okay? Like Redman, any other original. I'm not saying it's a natural like Havana Blossom, but there is not a lot of whatever they treat chewing tobacco with in this product. What does that do? Well, it brings the weight down considerably, but they actually can put more leaf in the bag. So what you have is a bag that feels real full, but has a low net weight. And that is the reason the leaf is not saturated with a lot of moisture. All right. So in the bag, or out of the bag, I should say, a lot of blonde highlights, not even tacky to the touch. Okay. It feels sort of dry. The cut it's a ribbon cut. It's ribbon cut. Now, that plays back to the beginnings of loose leaf chewing tobacco, and I will get to that after I throw some of this in and hit the pause button. Yeah, see, it's real loose in the bag. It's not clumping together. And I am back. Okay, so this is one of those deals like somebody's going to be like, what the heck is this? How cheap is Swisher? And not that I want to sit here and defend Swisher, God forbid, but really what this originally was is what this still is. Okay? You've heard of scrap. The last product that probably had scrap on the packaging was probably Peachy of a few decades ago now. But originally, loose leaf chewing tobacco was scrap. It was either cut ends off of plug. When they formed the plugs, the cuts that they made to form the plug, that was the stuff that they threw in and made loose leaf out of. Or, and this would make much more sense now because it might still be, it was scraps left over from making cigars. Okay? Which in this case today, modern times, would make sense since this is a Swisher product. So, this is basically about as probably close as you're going to get to original scrap chewing tobacco. It's probably exactly the same as it has always been. I do not know. I have not been around long enough. But what this is supposed to be, Swisher got it right. It is the way it's supposed to be. It's not going to be appealing or as appealing to most people. So, in the mouth, there is molasses, raisins on the product, okay? It's not completely natural raw like Havana Blossom. At the same time, there's not a lot of whatever mixture they use, okay? It's there, you can taste it, but there's not enough of it to completely cover over the bitterness of raw leaf tobacco. It does have a little bit of a bitter edge. In this case, that's not a terrible thing because it's not overblown. Some of the twists I've done, 99% of you would be like, oh my God, I gotta get this out of my mouth. It's not as bad as that. The bitterness is there, it makes it juice up a little bit. Okay, and you get an idea what just plain Jane tobacco, leaf tobacco in the mouth would be like. But this does just have enough concoction, molasses, etc., that it rounds that bitterness a little bit. So, you know, it's not a favorite of mine. I'm not going to pretend that it is. It has a long history. I feel that it has a history more deserving of how Swisher has it now. I feel the packaging could be better, this, that, and the next thing. I wish the product was a little bit different. But, again, this is probably how it has always been. And they probably nailed it. So, slightly bitter taste, rounded over with a lower level of molasses. Spit's okay because it juices up because of that bitterness. So that's a plus in its favor. Low nicotine. It's not going to have much. This is for somebody that wants to get an idea of what all natural would be like, but is a little bit hesitant to actually go there yet. Okay, it's cheap enough. Okay, most of these boxes, 2 pouches. Now you are getting less with this, but it'll still be 5.5 net weight ounces. I mean, it's one of those deals where, like, look, well, I'm sorry, 5.5. What am I talking about? It's going to be 4.5. 4.5, but still at $5, that's still, that's still comparable and, a good deal, basically. If you see it, if you want to get an idea what close to natural would be like, or closer to natural, check it out. I mean, it's usable. There's nothing sketchy about it. It has in the fold their trade union that makes it, as all loose leaves from Swisher are made. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just really nothing to write home about. All right? Spit's okay. Packaging, it's not great, but, it works as long as you're not keeping it around for an extended period of time. So, this has been Chew Review Part 2, Mail Pouch. Loose leaf chewing tobacco, ribbon cut. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy. I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves. And as always, God bless.